All right, amazing. Welcome everybody to this jam-packed HRI webinar regarding the Greener Homes program. You can see in the corner of your screen, we've got Dana Farcasiu, Senior Technical Advisor with NRCan. She's waving her hand there. Maya Fernandez Perez, Senior Engineer for Enbridge. She's waving her hand down there. They're going to take you through we actually got an extended webinar for you today. It's going to be over in an hour. Fantastic information for the community. We're also going to be taping this, so if you don't catch everything the first time around, head to HRI's YouTube page after, and you can watch it again. But I know they've got a huge presentation, so I'm going to step away and let them do their thing. Dana, take it away.
Thank you very much. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much to HRI for allowing me to come and deliver this presentation today. I'm very excited to talk about our favorite subject, heat pumps. So the goal of the Canada Green Homes Initiative is to incentivize measures that can reduce the greenhouse gas emissions in the residential sector and help Canada reach the greenhouse gas reduction targets set by under the Paris Agreement. Heat pump systems were identified as one of the technologies that can help Canada reaching out the 2030 greenhouse gas emissions reduction targets, and as a result was included as one of the incentivized measures under the Canada Green Homes Initiative. Two main categories of heat pumps are currently incentivized: air-to-air and ground source. Today, we will focus on the air-to-air heat pump systems. So we will talk today about the types of air source heat pumps incentivized under Canada Green Homes Initiative. We will talk about changes in the energy efficiency regulations due to Amendment 17. We will go through the revised performance eligibility requirements for products tested under 10 CFR Appendix M1 for the Canada Green Homes Grant Initiative. We will discuss about additional program requirements and clarifications related to the initiative. We will touch on the extraction data sources that we use to put together the eligible products list, the list update timelines, and incentives levels. Then we will go through navigating the eligible products list. And finally, we will talk about heat pump sizing, selection, and best installation practices. So under Canada Green Homes Initiative, we have three programs. We have the Canada Green Homes Grant. We have the Canada Green Homes Loan, which is delivered through CMHC. And we have the newly released program, Oil to Heat Pump Affordability Program. So in the brackets, as you can see, I put the abbreviation because you will see them all over the presentation. So the main two categories of air-to-air heat pumps that we incentivize under initiative are the cold climate heat pumps that can also be Energy Star certified. These heat pumps are eligible under the OPA, under the Canada Greener Homes Grant, and under the CMHC loan. We also incentivize Energy Star heat pumps that do not have a cold climate certification, and these heat pumps are eligible only under the Canada Greener Homes Grant and CMHC loan. Type of incentivized air source heat pumps. Based on the ducting configuration, we incentivize conventional heat pumps, centrally ducted heat pumps, coils only, single package. We also incentivize variable speed mini split systems, and they can be also centrally ducted, compact ducted, and connected with non-ducted indoor units. And also under the mini splits and multi-splits, we incentivize the multi-zone systems where the outdoor units can be connected with all non-ducted units, all ducted, and mixed ducted and non-ducted. So before we talk about the performance eligibility criteria for the heat pump products under the initiative, I would like to take you through the recent changes in the Canadian regulations that affected also the performance eligibility criteria of our initiative. So as of January 1st, 2023, a new heat pump test procedure, 10 CFR Appendix M1, was implemented for residential heat pump products in the US regulations, which affected the Energy Star and NIP certified products. Canada, under Amendment 17 to the energy efficiency regulations, aligned with the United States. This means that all residential type of air-to-air heat pumps, single phase, were affected, and such as the conventional centrally ducted and non-ducted mini and multi-splits. So you'll ask, what is the impact on Canada? This means that all air-to-air heat pumps products manufactured on or after January 1st, 2023, imported into Canada or crossing provincial borders must comply with the requirements under the Amendment 17 to the regulations of the Energy Efficiency Act. So this means that all these new heat pumps must be tested under the 10 CFR Appendix M1, and their performance must be listed under HSPF2 Region 5 and SEER 2. So, as a result, under Canadian regulations, as I mentioned, HSPF2 must be reported by manufacturers for Region 5 because 80% of the Canadian population resides in this climate region. I hope that you can see the map included on this slide. These are the 4 HSPF regions that they are presently in Canada. On the West Coast, we have a little bit of Region 4 and Region 6, which is marine climate. And then we have the green region, which is Region 5. As I mentioned, 80% of Canadians live in that region. And then we have very cold. Canada Greener Homes Initiative, it's aligned with the Canadian energy efficiency regulations. So as a result, this means that going forward, the greener homes eligibility criteria for heat pumps will include minimum efficiency requirements for HSPF2 Region 5. So what is the revised performance eligibility criteria? For Energy Star heat pumps, other than cold climate heat pumps, remember, they are not eligible under OPA. We will have the HSPF2 Region 5 equal or greater than 6.6, SEER 2 equal or greater than 15.2. So previously we did not have a SEER requirement, but now going forward we have. And for the cold climate heat pumps, we have a transition period. So between January 1st, 2023 and January 1st, 2024, the heat pumps does not require to include or to be listed with an Energy Star most efficient certification. But after January 1st, 2024, the Energy Star most efficient 2023 certification is required for all cold climate heat pumps. The performance ratings of the cold climate heat pumps will remain the same for the COP at minus 15 degrees Celsius, which would still equal or greater than 1.8. The capacity maintenance at maximum minus 15 degrees Celsius overrated at 8.3 degrees Celsius, equal or greater than 70%. Variable capacity, it's a must. And performance criteria for HSPF2 Region 5 will be equal or greater than 6.6 and SEER 2 equal or greater than 15.2. So one new requirement criteria for testing a heat pump at very low temperature heating test conducted at minus 15 degrees Celsius is because this information is important for Canada as it provides an indication of how efficiently the heat pump operates in colder Canadian temperatures. The transition period until January 1st, 2024 is to allow manufacturers to have enough time to test their products to minus 15 degrees Celsius. So besides the performance eligibility criteria, additional criteria must be met in order for the homeowner to be able to access the grant for the heat pump products. So we still have, being on the eligible products list, it's not enough. The minimum combined total rated heating capacity of the system must be 12,000 BTUs per hour. So this can be achieved in case of mini split ductless system by combining, for example, two 6,000 BTUs units. Must be installed by a licensed and trained professional. This requirement is to ensure that installations are performed following manufacturers' requirements and current installation standards implemented in Canada. Efficiency of the heat pump can be affected by poor installation. Under the Canada Greener Homes Grant and loan, a pre-retrofit NRCan evaluation must be completed before any work is started on site. So when the energy advisors will come and perform the first energy evaluation for the homeowner, they must observe the previous heating equipment, like the old equipment, not the new installed heat pump. Also, a post-retrofit NRCan rating evaluation is required after all the work is completed. Under the Canada Greener Homes Grant and loan, mini splits and multi-zone split systems require a minimum of 2 heads and warm air supply outlets. Very important that all products must be purchased in Canada. This is to protect the Canadian business owners. An additional requirement that we have, it's for the system to be able to distribute heat throughout the entire conditioned space in the house. This means that at least one warm air supply outlet or indoor head per floor is required for each dwelling unit occupying space on a floor, including a mezzanine level that includes a room with a door. And at least one warm air supply outlet or indoor head must be installed in basements with a height of 1.8 meters or higher, and the height of the basement is measured from the top of the slab to the bottom of the joist. Under OPA, a mandatory attestation form is required to be signed by the HVAC contractor, attesting the fact that the system it's capable of distributing heat into the entire house. And this is because under OPA, there is no requirement for NRCan rating evaluation conducted by the energy advisor. And when I talk about the warm air supply outlet, think of the compact ducted systems. Not so much about the centrally ducted, because the centrally ducted by their nature are designed to heat the entire house. So some additional guidance. Grant is provided for installation or replacement of a heat pump system. So what does it mean if a homeowner never had a heat pump installed before and they want to install a new heat pump system, they are eligible? Or if a homeowner already had a heat pump installed before and they want to replace it with a more performant one that is listed as an eligible product, they are also eligible. Hybrid systems are acceptable, but not under OPA. Under OPA, only when the homeowner transitions from oil, they are allowed to transition only to a fully electrical system with electrical backup. So in other words, centrally ducted systems paired only with either an air handler or an electrical furnace. Sizing should account for the anticipated heat requirements based on other planned energy efficiency upgrades. This is to avoid a unit being oversized. And it's important to note that in case of ductless systems, adding heads to an existing outdoor unit, it's not eligible. Grants are provided for complete systems, and what I mean for the outdoor unit as well as the indoor unit. MERBs with more than 2 units are not eligible, but homes with secondary suites, which they are under our program considered as MERBs, multi-unit residential buildings with 2 units, they are eligible. So more than 2 units, not eligible. So now that we talk about the heat pump eligibility requirements under our initiative, I would like to touch on the data sources that we use to extract the eligible products list under the Canada Green Homes initiative. So we use 2 data sources. And these data sources are first and foremost filtered for products that they are sold in Canada. We use the CEHREI directory for Energy Star products. Again, remember these heat pumps, they are not eligible under OPA. And then we use the NIP listing for cold climate heat pumps. You'll see on our website, we will have 2 different distinct eligible products. It's one that includes all the products and one that includes only the cold climate, and those are for Quebec and Nova Scotia participants. Going forward, we will be using the regulatory database, so-called the import database, to validate the HSPF2 Region 5 information. It's very important to note that the NIP and CEHREI directories are derived from consensus among industry organizations regarding high-performance heat pump systems. Products included in these 2 directories are reported voluntarily by manufacturers and brand owners and include the best-in-class products. It's important to note that if a manufacturer or a brand owner does not report the product to one of these 2 data sources, the specific product will not be listed as an eligible product, even though its performance ratings meet the Green Homes requirements. So manufacturers, they do not report the data to NRCan, they report the data to these 2 data sources, and then we will go and download these 2 data sources and filter based on the performance requirements that I showed to you previously. We look also to see if they are sold in Canada, and then we put together the eligible products list. As a reminder that being listed on the AHRI directory, it's not sufficient. It must be listed. The eligible products under our initiative must be listed on the eligible products list. The extraction of the data is completed only once on a specific date agreed upon internally. So shortly, I'll show you what is the schedule for the download and extracting the data. So when we download the data, we download for all the products that they are incentivized. And when I mean heat pumps, windows, doors, furnace and boilers for the northern and off-grid communities, and heat pump water heaters, and I think that's it. If a product is listed as both Energy Star and cold climate, we will remove the one that shows the Energy Star certification, because as you know, the cold climate heat pumps, they have a higher grant, and we want to incentivize the grant for the homeowner. So the update timelines, we undertake quarterly updates in March, June, September, and December. As I mentioned before, manufacturers and brand owners are the ones responsible for reporting their information to these data sources no later than 1st of February, 1st of May, August, and 1st of November. And they are also responsible for ensuring that the reported information is correct. So, for example, if a manufacturer will not mention that the product is sold in Canada, if by mistake they forget to put that it's sold in Canada, we will not download that product. So from June 2023 onwards, only products listed with HSPF2 Region 5 and CR2 will be added to the eligible products list. Products already listed on the eligible products list with HSPF M standard metrics will be grandfathered until June 1st, 2025 to allow current stock to be depleted. So again, today, if you go on the eligible products list, you will see only M products. Those products are frozen and will be grandfathered until June 1st, 2025. This month, we extracted only M1 products from the two directories that I mentioned before, and we would add them on the eligible products list sometimes at the beginning of June. We hope it to be very, very early in June, because I know that many people are looking forward to see this list up and available to Canadians. If an eligible product is already listed with M specifications and was also tested under M1, the less stringent performance eligibility criteria will apply to determine compliance under our initiative. So what this means is that if, let's say, an M product listed today on the eligible products list, going forward will show in the industry directory also an M1 performance rating. If that product does not meet the M1 performance eligibility criteria that I mentioned before, we will leave it on our list as an M product. If that product meets the M1 performance eligibility criteria, we will list it on our eligible products list only with the M1 rating. The decision was made that products will be listed either with M or M1 because it will be very confusing for the homeowner. So grant levels under Canada Greener Homes Grant. We have the grants are available based on the configuration, and they range between $2,500 to $5,000. And you know, the grant table on our NRCan website will provide you details. You know how much we provide for mini splits, multi splits, centrally ducted, cold climate, and non-cold climate. And also, I just want to mention that the Canada Greener Homes Loan delivered by CMHC allows participants into our initiative, into the Canada Greener Homes Grant program to receive a loan, free interest of up to $40,000 with a minimum $5,000. Under OPA, the Canadians, they have the opportunity to get up to $10,000, and this grant, it's made available especially to OPA participants. So the eligible products list, if you go on the NRCan website where we host the eligible products list, you will see now 3 lists. One is for the oil to heat pump affordability program. And as a reminder, this list includes only cold climate heat pumps without the hybrid configurations. So you'll see there either mini, multi-split, centrally ducted paired with an air handler, and the coils only that can be paired only with electrical furnaces. You will see also air source heat pumps and cold climate air source heat pumps available for the Canada Green Homes Grant Program. And the last list that you will observe will be the one including only cold climate air source heat pumps for Quebec and Nova Scotia. And this list will include also hybrid systems. We received a lot of questions about the furnace compatibility requirements for centrally ducted systems. So I just want to clarify that and to remind you that a heat pump system is composed of one or more factory-made assemblies, which normally include an indoor coil, compressor, outdoor coil, indoor fan, outdoor fan, expansion device, and controls. In case of centrally ducted systems, the indoor fan blowers can be part of a furnace or an air handler. So majority of the heat pumps are rated with the indoor fan component, and their performance is listed in industry directories with the indoor coil, outdoor coil, and the furnace or the air handler they have been tested with. Other heat pumps products, such as the coil zone, can be tested without the indoor fan component, following some restrictions stipulated in the testing standards. However, the performance of these products are still conducted at rated airflow. In all cases, each system and its components are tested together and rated, after which their performance ratings are listed under unique HRAI number in industry directories. So, coil zone systems climbed recently the eligible product list. These systems will be of great interest for homeowners that are interested in a heat pump but not ready yet to replace their gas or electric furnace. When considering coil zone products, to ensure proper performance of the entire heat pump system, compatibility with existing furnaces and controls, it's important to undertake some steps and take in consideration the following. That the rated airflow of the furnace and the heat pump are similar. Furnace is communicating components that are compatible with the heat pump system. The thermostat will enable all features of a variable capacity heat pump system. And for optimal performance, the furnace should be equipped with an ECM or a variable speed blower and be controlled as such. Some of the inquiries received by our technical inquiries team from the HVAC contractors are related to the eligible product list. As a result, I would like to address today some of the questions received. One of the questions is, why is there no furnace listed as part of the eligible combination? So this is because the heat pump system might be a single package unit. As a reminder that the single package unit, they have all the components in one cabinet. And when you look at the eligible products list for this unit, you will not see even an indoor unit. Another possibility might be because the system is in fact a centrally ducted unit paired with an air handler rather than a furnace. Or the listed heat pump is a coil zoning combination. I want to note that in the next version of the list, we will include in the furnace field the coils only words, just to make it much easier for homeowners to identify these products. So this is a snapshot on the details on our eligible products list website, which lists a product, a single package unit, showing there is no inside model and no furnace model. Also a conventional split with an air handler. We have a conventional split with a furnace, showing a complete model. And this is how the coil zoning will be listed going forward. Another question that we received is why there are no indoor units for multi-zone heat pump systems. And this is because any manufacturer recommended indoor units connected to the listed outdoor unit will yield the same performance rating. However, their performance may vary based on the type of the indoor units tested with the outdoor units. And if you're wondering, when you go to the eligible products list, or for that matter to any industry directories, and you see the outdoor unit of a multi-zone system listed 3 times under 3 HREI numbers, is because they were listed with the type of the indoor units under which they were tested with. So the first combination will show most likely when they were tested with all non-ducted indoor units. The second, when it was the outdoor unit was tested with all ducted indoor units. And the last one, when the outdoor unit was tested with mixed ducted and non-ducted. And just as a tip, if you look at the HRA classification and you see a -O at the end, that's an indication that the indoor units connected to the outdoor unit, they are all non-ducted.
Dana, there is a
Yes.
request in here to go back to, please go back to the slide which you show the coils only example for the approved product list.
Yes.
Okay, so we're here. What is the question, Chris?
Hi, are you looking for the question?
Yes.
Could you please go back to the slide which shows the coils only example for the approved products list? Is that the one you're referring to? Or...
This is the coils only sample.
We've got a number of questions, and hopefully there'll be time at the end to. I'm just taking it down as we talk.
That would be amazing.
Right.
Okay, so this is a sample of the multi-zone system showing on the details of the eligible products list, and it will, as you can see, the -O it's an indication that this is a unit that was tested with all non-ducted. And another tip that I can give you, just look at the grant amounts. If you see listed only indoor heads, that's it's an indication that the indoor unit are non-ducted. If you see warm air supply outlets only, this means they are all ducted. And if you see warm air supply outlets / indoor heads, means that it's a mixed configuration. Why the heat pump is not on the eligible product list? Some other reason might be because it was never reported by the manufacturer or brand owner to one of the 2 data sources. So if they are not reported to those 2 data sources that I mentioned before, again, we will not know of them and we will not be able to download them. The Energy Star or NIP status expired before we did the extraction. One of the performance criteria does not meet the more stringent Canada Greener Homes criteria. Remember that our criteria is more stringent than the Energy Star or NIP. The product, as I mentioned before, is not listed as sold in Canada. And the product was added to one of the 2 data sources directories after the extraction was completed by NRCan. Sorry. So why the homeowner cannot access the grant? I just want to mention that there is an entire journey that the homeowner must go through, and we have a team called the due diligence team that they look at the invoices submitted by homeowner in order to validate the eligibility of the grant. And sometimes the issuing of the grant is delayed because there are some informations missing from the invoices submitted by the HVAC contractor. It's important that the invoices as complete as possible. So the make-in model of both the indoor and the outdoor unit should be listed on the invoice. The make-in model on the invoice must match of the make-in model of the units that they are installed and observed on site. Remember, the energy advisors, they do take pictures of the installed units. This is required also for grant validation. Missing or incorrect HREI numbers are provided. So the HREI number doesn't match the installed system. And as I mentioned, the make-in model of the indoor and outdoor units are missing. So if the invoice includes only the series, it's not enough. The energy advisor nor the due diligence team have enough information to validate if the product is eligible or not for an incentive. Why also cannot access the grant? Because the product does not meet our eligibility criteria. Remember, as I said, our criteria is more stringent, and in case of cold climate, the heat pump must meet all the requirements listed in the previous slide, not only the HSPF and SEER. And sometimes might be because of incorrect modeling in HOT 2000 by the energy advisor. HOT 2000 is the software that the energy advisor use in order to input all the information collected on site. And when they submit this file to NRCan, most of the time this is easily caught and corrected very, very quickly and addressed. So now that we discussed about performance eligibility criteria and program requirements, I would like to share with you some highlights of information shared by my colleagues at Calmet Energy, which is the R&D branch of NRCan. During their extensive research studies and field testing that they have been involved with on heat pump performance, they determined that the most important things when retrofitting a heat pump system are the following. Heat pump sizing and selection is very important because an undersized system means insufficient heating and cooling, therefore discomfort for the occupants. An oversized systems means poor performance, which it's due to cycling and leads to comfort swings. So overall, this means poor performance, unhappy homeowners, callbacks to contractors, and unhappy builders. All these provide the challenge for adoption of the air source heat pumps in Canada. Traditionally, heat pump sizing and selection was done based on the cooling load of the building, while only limited guidance has been available for sizing based on heating load. In addition, more than one factor could be desired when sizing a system. As a result of this need, my colleagues from Calmet Energy have developed a sizing tool and guide that can assist HVAC industry with sizing and selecting heat pumps in Canada. They are also currently working on a simplified app that can be used while on site by the HVAC contractors, and that will be made available in the next couple of years. Comparing with the sizing strategies showed on the previous slide, the guide provides guidance on 4 sizing strategies depending on the homeowner objective. So the guide includes 4 sizing strategies: cooling focus, balanced heating and cooling, heating focus, and the air source heat pump as a whole, as a sole heat system. Beyond sizing, the installation of the unit is also important for good performance. So in NRCan's recent field trials, a number of best practices were found to have a big impact on the performance. So when installing the outdoor unit, the following should be considered. Ensure proper clearances around outdoor unit, avoid locating hot air vents. facilitate proper drainage and condensate, and protect from winter winds, and consider windshield. And remember, when you are installing in the summer, remember that this is a heat pump system, and how will be affected in the winter. Locating the indoor unit, avoid locations that restrict airflow, avoid locations close to other heat sources, and avoid directing air on high heat loss surfaces. In case of ducted heat pump systems in a retrofit application, it is imperative to understand the airflow capacity of the existing ducting network and how it compares to the airflow requirements of the ducted heat pumps to be installed. If the airflow of the heat pump exceeds the capacity of the ductwork, there is likely to be noise and friction loss issues that will impact performance and homeowner satisfaction. The NRCan air source heat pump sizing tool has a module that can help with this comparison. And the air source heat pump sizing tool, it's publicly available today to be downloaded from the NRCan website. Also, evaluate the need for electrical service upgrades. And in retrofit situations, upgraded electrical services might be needed. If an AC is being replaced by a heat pump, ensure proper panel amperage rating. And in case of thermostats, carefully locate thermostats away from heat sources, air vents, and in locations receiving direct sunlight. And ensure thermostat compatibility with the heat pump. So, summary points. Eligibility criteria going forward will include HSPF2 Region 5 and Tier 2. As of January 1st, 2024, Canada greener homes eligible cold climate heat pumps must be certified Energy Star Most Efficient 2023. And this is because testing of heat pumps at minus 15 degrees Celsius, it's important to predict performance in our colder Canadian climates. To get on the eligible products list, HSPF2 Region 5 should be reported by manufacturers to the two data sources, NIP and CEHREI directory. Eligible product lists are updated quarterly, and correctly sizing, selecting, and installing a heat pump, it's important to ensure high performance and comfort for the occupants. Before I move on, I just want to mention that our federal government, they co-deliver programs with partners across provinces. So in Ontario, we co-deliver with Enbridge, and for this reason, I invited today my colleague May, in case you might have any questions for the Ontario program as well. Thank you very much, and now we can take questions.
Okay, fantastic. And we got a lot of questions to take.
Yeah,
Hope you're
just give me, I'm trying to get a pen to make a note.
hope you're good to go.
I copied it all in an email, Dana, for both of us, so we can keep a record of all the questions.
So I'm going to go just in terms of when they were submitted, just so right off the top. So they might refer to things that were discussed before. But let's dive in. Are all new heat pump matches that were submitted to NRCan being added to the next Greener Home update? And is that update happening on June 1st? Our manufacturing company sent the AHRAI matches to NRCan in January.
I didn't understand the last part with the January.
Well, they're just saying in the question, their manufacturing company sent the AHRAI matches to NRCan in January.
So they were not submitted to NRCan in January. They were submitted to the certification bodies. The certification bodies. The certification body submitted the information to NRCan not long ago, and my colleagues for the compliance group, they are working very hard to analyze the data and ensure that from the submitted list of products, they pick only the compliance product under the Amendment 17. So the HREI submitted the list not long ago.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry, I'm just we're getting more questions as they come in. The coil-only ratings will, in most cases, result in lower delivered performance than the approved combinations featuring current model furnaces and air handlers. It costs manufacturers literally millions of dollars to develop and test these approved CCASHP combinations. To be fair to consumers and the manufacturers, is it possible for the rebate for coil-only ratings be reduced from 5,000 to 2,500?
So at this point, they are eligible the same as the other systems. I will take this as a note and bring it to our management team. But I just want to mention that we currently incentivize only coils. We do not incentivize furnaces. Our program incentivizes only heat pumps, not the backup systems. So even today, if a homeowner has an existing furnace and it's just installing the indoor and outdoor coils that they are compatible and listed together with that specific furnace on the eligible products list, they receive the same amount of incentive.
Couple of questions about the attestation. Just a clarifying point. Did you say the attestation will replace the energy audit?
For OPA, yes.
OPA. And what do you mean by
Only
OPA?
for OPA, only for, because for OPA, an NRCan rating evaluation is not required. So the HVAC contractor will have to sign that attestation form, which kind of, they will be audited. So we will audit the OPA file, especially because an NRCan rating evaluation, it's not performed. So we will audit, selecting random files, and we will have somebody go on site and verify the accuracy of the information.
So I know there was a question as well, since we do have kind of a nationwide audience. What is OPA? That's Ontario? When you say
No,
OPA?
it's oh my gosh, I can never remember.
OPHA? Yeah.
On the second slide, yeah.
Yes, it is oil to heat pump affordability program.
Okay.
So
And that is
it's
federal?
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's federal, yes. And we do call it co-deliver with some provinces, but it's available to all Canadians.
Okay.
So this program, again, it's available to homeowners willing to transition from oil to electrical heating systems. And under OPA, homeowners, so under Canada Green Homes Grant and loan, homeowners are eligible only for an incentive against the heat pump itself, while under OPA, homeowners, applicants under OPA, they are eligible besides getting an incentive towards the heat pump system, also for upgrading their electrical panel and installing an electrical water heater if they transition from a from an oil domestic water heater as well, and also electrical baseboards or electrical furnace.
Thank you. Some questions about the mezzanine slide. Two questions, and they might be related. What does it mean for a mezzanine with a door? That's the question.
So mezzanine, think of, if you have some homes, they have just like a platform, like a mezzanine level, nothing there is, just an open space. Yes. So for those, one hand is not required. But if there is a bedroom right there on that mezzanine, it's still an open area and you have a bedroom in there with a door, a head is required.
Thank you. If there is a mezzanine level without a room with a door, does there need to be an additional head or warm air outlet on that level?
No, as I said, if it's just open, if it's just wide open, no rooms in there, no head required.
Okay. How many stages are required to qualify as variable capacity?
So that it's, I think it's listed on our website. I think it's, 1 second, I'll tell you in a second. Oh. It's defined. I just want to make sure I get the right definition.
Yes.
Of course.
1 second. Oh, sorry. Because it's very well defined. I just don't want to make sure.
Variable capacity with 3 or more distinct operating speed or continuous variable speed.
Thank you.
Yes. You're
So
welcome.
can you put that, May? Can you copy and paste that in the chat?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So under the grant table on the NRCan website, you'll find all the information.
Yeah. And I'm gonna give the participant as well the
Great.
link.
Okay. Got some more for you. One of our listeners noticed that the Lower Mainland still falls into Region 4. Will we be using those rating requirements? Do dual fuel systems still qualify?
So going forward, it's only Region 5. However, the list will include and will list Region 4 because we recognize some of the regions in Canada. They are, they need Canadians residing in Region 4. They need to understand. So what's the efficiency of the heat pump in their area? But when we will extract the data, we will extract only in Region 5, but the list will include also Region 4.
Thank you. Would it be possible to mark the existing products that qualify for both M and M1 on the database? They understand that you said it was to make it less confusing for homeowners, but it would be helpful for contractors to know what will be accepted going forward.
I'm sorry, I think I didn't understand the question.
No problem. It's basically the first half of the question. Would it be possible to mark the existing products that qualify for both M and M1 on the database? In your presentation, sorry.
I think we will not be able to do that. Our list will either show either M or M1 rating. I mean, information is there. If HVAC contractors, they are used with the products and they can use the HRA number and look in other industry directories to double check. But it will be too confusing for the homeowners. Okay.
There's one question that kind of harkens back to one of the first ones we asked about qualifying products in the June update. If you're unable at this time to confirm that some products are being added to the June update, is there someone that contractors can call right now to get an update or a status update just to see which products will be?
So I just want to let you know that we just finished with the extraction this week. Because there were some issues with the NIP database, and we want to ensure that as many products will be captured on the eligible products list. When we download the data, we don't just download and release it to the web. We undertake lots of analysis. We perform a QA/QC process. We look at the ratings, ensure that information reported by manufacturers is accurate. Many times we encountered situation when the reported data was incorrect, and we went back to NIP and even AHRI, and work with them to correct the data on their main databases. So until it's the one day before the release, we will not be sure which products will really make it or not make it on the list. So I understand that a lot of contractors and manufacturers, they are very anxious to find out what are the products that will be listed. Unfortunately, I don't want to give false hope. So I strongly suggest that they wait until they will see the lists updated on the web. I can reassure you that we are working very, very hard and, and very, very quickly to make them available on the web.
Thank you. A lot of acronyms, so my apologies if I don't pronounce these correctly, but you mentioned Energy Star certified heat pumps need. Let's start again. You mentioned Energy Star certified heat pumps and NEEP CCASHP. How are Energy Star cold climate heat pumps treated under this program?
So at this point, like a cold climate air source heat pump can be Energy Star as well. And an Energy Star heat pump can also be cold climate heat pump. But our eligibility criteria for Energy Star, it applies only for, we call it non-cold climate for the reason just because we try to, we recognize the fact that cold climate air source heat pump, they are more expensive than the Energy Star one. And for this reason, we have higher incentives. So at this point, we just go to the NIP directory, and when we download the cold climate list, we don't care about the Energy Star certification. So on cold climate, on the NEEP listing, you can have cold climate heat pumps that they are Energy Star or they are not Energy Star. So at this point, we don't care. When we go to the Energy Star, again, at this point, we look only at, we don't care about the cold climate certification either. We just look to make sure that they meet that performance criteria that it's listed here. 1 second, here. And what we will do is if we find duplicates, because they will be the same HRAI number. HRAI number, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 under the Energy Star website, list, and the HRAI 1, 2, 3, 4 on the cold climate. So what we will do when we see the duplicate, we will delete the one from the Energy Star and we will leave it only as the cold climate because the homeowner will get more money.
Thank you. Need some water? You're taking a lot of questions. This is
No, I'm good.
You're good to go. Okay.
Yeah.
What does the MERB maximum 2-unit rule? When does the MERB maximum 2-unit rule come into effect?
So that was always, it came into effect, I think, sometime last year. I can find the precise date, but it was already implemented sometime last year. I can find an exact date if you are interested, but I can tell you that this exception was implemented sometime last year.
And can you give a definition of MERB? For example, are you referring to stacked multi-units or townhomes?
Yes, stacked. Yes, if they are semi-detached, that's not a duplex. From our perspective, a duplex, it's a MERB and it's a stacked unit. Yes, and they have separate entrance. Yes, or they have, for example, a common area like a hallway, and they still have different entrances. Yes, they are not interconnected. So again, that's stacked. It's a MERB. If they are side by side, they are semi-detached and they were eligible since day one.
Thank you so much. Are there specific dates for the data extractions from CEE, HARI, and NEEP?
So as I mentioned, we don't have an exact date because of, for example, this month was an example. We discovered some inconsistencies, manufacturer discovered inconsistencies, and we want to ensure. So our goal is to get heat pumps listed. Our goal is to have Canadians being capable of accessing as many heat pumps as possible. So we recognize that, sometimes, information is not correct. When we download it and suddenly we observe that there are bugs in those data sources where we extract the data. So that's why we don't have an exact date of extraction. But for this reason, we ask manufacturers that they report the data no later than 1st of this month. So because for the March update, manufacturers should ensure that they have their products listed and they show on those two industry directories before February 1st of each year. Because we may go and download the data at any time. We might even download the data on February the 2nd, and then we observe that there are some issues, and we go backwards and forwards with NEEP and AHRI, and then we will have to re-download it again.
Thank you. And just a note to viewers, we're getting a lot of questions, and we're going to try to get through as many as we can. But I'm sure at the end of the presentation, there's a number or contact that people can reach out to you with some of these questions, or the best way?
Of course, I will leave my email in the chat. I mean, you have my email, am I right? So maybe you want to share it in the chat.
Sure. Maya, do you mind posting that in chat? Just while I think I got it somewhere. Yeah. Let's keep digging in. Here's a related question. Is there a phone number specifically for contractors to call in for support confirming heat pump eligibility? They get a lot of customer questions about the rebates.
So we do have a phone number and we have an email, and then maybe what I will do, I don't have them handy right now, but I can definitely send them to you, and maybe you can share them with the people present in this.
Sure. Is there
I will try to see if I can give it.
Yeah, if we could somehow find that before the end, I think it would be great. And I'll get you multitasking here. Not sure who was the target of teaching us HP sizing and HP best practices. They're suggesting ask them to look to the BCHPSC for a better approach. A separate training effort would be more suitable.
What's a BCHC? I don't understand.
The British Columbia HPSC.
Oh, I know that different provinces, they have their own they have their own products, and you know, HREI, they have probably TACOG, which is another organization they have, but our kind of complements those that training, and it's as a result of a lots of research conducted by researchers here at NRCan, and I think if you will have the opportunity to download that tool and have a look, you will see that it's very, very helpful.
Is 15.2 SEER 2 a requirement as of now or backdated to systems already installed?
No, only as of with this extraction. So if they were, I mean, depends, hold on, because the question is very tricky. So if a system that was, let's say, was installed last week, it's not currently on the list, and the installer, it's hoping that will show in June on the list, must have the SEER 2. Make sense what I'm saying? So if the product was listed before with M ratings, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if the product was never on the list and was already installed and will become eligible because in June will show as listed with the M1 criteria, yes, must meet both the HSPF2 Region 5 as well as SEER 2.
Okay. I'll let the person who asked that, if they have any follow-up, they can put that in the chat there. Will there be any future plans for special grants for cold climates that is being developed for DOE Cold Climate HP Challenge, which is different than NRCan CCHP eligibility?
So the DOE challenge, it's Cold Climate Challenge, it's led by our colleagues from the Homes and Communities Division. And again, if those heat pumps will be listed as Energy Star or Cold Climate, why not? They will make it on our list and they will be eligible for incentives.
Yeah. I'm just going to assume we're getting a lot of kind of the same questions, but it's good that we're going through these just in case we get a little more information each time. If the product meets all M1 criteria in the 2023, if the product meets all M1 criteria in 2023 without Energy Star Cold Climate designation, is it going to stay on the list in 2024 if the product won't be added as Energy Star Cold Climate heat pump?
Yes. We never remove heat pumps from the list, we just add.
Thank you.
And this is because under our initiative, especially under the grant, there is no limitation when a homeowner can perform the final evaluation. And if a homeowner, let's say he has undertaken the pre-retrofit evaluation today, and he wants to install a heat pump tomorrow and have the final evaluation in 2 years from now, they should be eligible for an incentive.
I just got a recent request. Can you please put up the slide again explaining M1 and M2 qualifications, just while we go through some other questions here? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving along. Based on the need for a qualified HVAC contractor to install a heat pump project, what constitutes that, and what is the basis to confirm the work is being done by a qualified contractor?
So, I mean, the trades are regulated by provincial governments. So different provincial governments and territories, they have their own requirements. So of course, the installers must follow, must be certified as best as required by their provinces. Energy advisor, they will not check the workmanship of the installation because this is not their role. Their role is just to perform the energy evaluation and collect information about the installed system.
Okay. Someone is asking for a little more clarification on certified to do what? Is there saying it's a little unclear?
So as I said, for example, I think maybe you can correct me or not, but I think in Ontario there are some certification requirements for heat pump installers. Am I right?
Yes, they are capable to do the work. And remember, if they are electrician, they have to be electrical certified, and if they have to remove any oil or gas pipe, they have to be certified to do so as well.
Yeah.
Okay. As an addendum to that,
This is for the safety of the contract of the people, right? Of the people living in the home, right? In Ontario, there is very high restrictions according to you are not going to connect something that is not capable to be safe for your house, right? Or disconnect an old system that is not safe for your house, right?
Thank you.
Exactly. So, for example, if there are in provinces and territories where there is no requirement for, let's say, refrigerant technicians, in those you still need an electrician to make the connection to the electrical panel, and most of those electrical trades are regulated in all provinces. Another thing, maybe like I'm trying to think of what other yes, and can be also certified by the manufacturer. Yes, manufacturers. Most of the manufacturers, they do certify their installers as well.
There's a follow-up, and then we'll move on to the other questions. But the commenter who just asked that question, what's certified, said there are no requirements in BC. You should be a refrigeration mechanic and have an electrician, but why is there no requirement for refrigeration?
For what? For?
There
is no requirement for?
Why is there no requirement for refrigeration?
For refrigeration. So again, this is the provincial jurisdiction. Like, we are the federal government, we don't regulate trades. The provinces are the one regulating trades. So we support, definitely we recognize, as I mentioned in my presentation, that it's important the system must be installed by a professional. So we work with organizations like, like TECA, like HRAI, to advocate the need of certified installers. We have our colleagues from the Homes and Community Divisions. They are in constant contact with these organizations and other provincial partners to work towards certification for heat pump installers.
Sure.
And even in Ontario, sometimes you have municipalities that have even a stringent restriction than the province and the federal government. Our job as advocate of a program is to teach the homeowner to learn to do the right thing and to protect their safety, right? What that specific jurisdiction mandate or not, we cannot control it. We can advocate it, but we cannot control it.
Sure. There are some follow-ups to that thread in the chat there, Maya. I don't know if you can see it. It's from Dale. If you wouldn't mind just looking at that and maybe adding some more insights so we can get on to another topic.
Which is by whom?
If you go into the webinar chat, you'll see Dale is saying, just for clarification points about what that certified needs to be. Is it's certified to do what? Refrigeration, certified. So there's just, yeah.
I mean, I assume that Dale, it's an HVAC, represents the HVAC industry. I mean, obviously, massive one of the certification that he mentioned, electrician, refrigeration technician, some of the provinces, they have requirements that in order to be able to handle refrigerants, you must have a specific certification. So a certification that will ensure that the safety of the homeowners, and yeah.
Okay. No,
so
great.
It's unfortunate that in BC they have, this situation, but I understand that the organization in that area, they are advocating very hard and lobbying the provincial government for supporting certifying this.
Sure. Obviously, there's a lot of questions about the program, and Dale is has some more, but just for the sake of getting to everyone else's questions, I think we're going to move on, and maybe you can. We'll provide an
Dale
email
said
address.
that Dale mentioned, his. I'm not very vague. I'm vague because, as I said, federal government does not regulate trades, and that provincial and territorial governments that they regulate, and like May mentioned, municipalities. Again, we are advocating, we are supporting industry, but ultimately it's outside the Canadian jurisdiction. We hope that we have faith that the HVAC installers that support homeowners and applicants in Canada Green Homes Grant Initiative, they are at least certified by the manufacturers. I had lengthy discussions with manufacturers, and manufacturers, my understanding is that many of them, if not all of them, they require their technicians that install their system be certified because they stand behind their products.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move on to some the other questions. Please clarify the need for heads on each floor. With a townhouse with a ground level entrance area of 100 square feet with just a closet, is a head required?
So will it be possible that that person send us an email with the details? I think we can answer that question directly. The only thing I can say is the one head per floor, it's just a minimum requirement. HVAC contractors are ultimately the one deciding if more heads are needed in order to ensure comfort of the occupants. So again, ours are just minimum requirements. They are the one ultimately that decides if additional heads are required.
Sure.
And remember that the intention behind is to encourage the HVAC contractor to stop and do a proper load analysis of the home to properly site the entire system, right? We don't want the customer to call with complaint. That's the objective behind it. It's not to tell the HVAC contractor what to do. It is to encourage to do a proper load analysis on sizing.
Exactly, and all the programs, out there, especially ours, we incentivize heating equipment, not cooling. This is very important to remember. We incentivize heating equipment. So imagine that you remove the current furnace from the house on the current boiler, and imagine that will be heated by a heat pump with a backup system that can be used only in very, very low temperatures, where the heat pump cannot meet the load requirements of the house or in emergency situations. So the intent of our program is that the heat pump be the primary system and the other systems be the backup.
Thank you. We're going to try to move through the rest of these questions in the 15 minutes that we have. In the meantime, is there an email or phone number that we can...
Oh, yes, I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Okay. So if region 5 meets 8.5, if region 4 meets 8.5 and region 5 meets 6.7, but manufacturer lists only with the region 4 data as it was understood.
They are not listing only with region 4. As I mentioned before, by law, they are required to report HSPF2 region 5 to Canada. HSPF2 region 5 is available to Canadians, and I strongly suggest Canadian HVAC contractors to consult the import and the regulatory database, not the HREI, because the HREI will not always provide information which products are available in Canada, but the import database provides that information as well as the HSPF2 region 5. So I know that most of them, they used in the past the HRI database. Strongly recommend going forward, use the regulatory database, the import database.
There was a back half of the question. I just want to make sure you might have answered it already, but I'm going to read the question full. So if the regulation 4 meets 8.5 and regulation 5 meets 6.7, but manufacturer lists only with the regulation, or sorry, the region 4 data as it was understood to meet either or, there was a little confusion. Will NRCan list the units under CCA ASHP in June and allow the manufacturer to upload region 5 data before the next update?
The region 5, so manufacturers, they work through certification bodies. In order for them to import products into Canada, they have to be listed as a regulated product. So, for example, even though if you go today right now to HRI database, you will see only region 4, because remember, HRI is the American directory, but AHRA, as a certification body, they report the data to Canada on behalf of the manufacturers. And when they report to Canada, by law, they have to report HSPF2 region 5. So for example, if today, let's say, I'm going to I'll give an example, and this month we will do only an exception if because it was all that, you know, craziness with moving from M to M1 and so on and so forth. If right now we go on the website and we will see a product, this is with M1 region 4, we will, that's why there is a line in my presentation here. I will just put it back again. 1 second. 1 second. Here, you see, here it shows regulatory database will be used to validate the HSPF2 region 5. So we will just, this time around, we will just download. If we see region 4 and we see the same product on the regulatory database with region 5, we will grab the region 5 information and we will bring it into the product that was listed in, let's say, in NIP with only region 4. But the product will end up being listed, must meet the region 5 criteria.
Sure. I'm gonna have to pick and choose, and apologies for the last question. I confused regulation with region. Get a little tongue-tied as we move forward. I'm going to just ask ones that I think are more generalized, just to get the maximum amount of information out there. Are you removing dual fuel rebates?
Dual fuel, like the hybrid systems, will not be available for OPA, but they are still available for Canada Green Homes Grant and the loan.
Okay. If the new list qualifies a majority of North American manufactured heat pumps or favors too few manufacturers, will the standards be lowered to level the playing field?
So the eligibility criteria will stay as is. The scope of the program is to ensure greenhouse gas reductions and help Canadians in reduce their utility bills. And I have to say the program is very, very successful. So we hope that other manufacturers will you know, bring advancements to their products in order to bring them to the minimum efficiency requirements that we have under our initiative.
Thank you. We're almost there. Greener home loans. What is the current processing time from the energy advisor's submission to NRCan to the receipt of funds in the client's bank?
Can you please repeat that question?
Of course, yeah. It's a timeline question about how quickly clients get paid, but what is the current processing time from the energy advisor's submission to NRCan to receiving the funds in the client's bank?
So from the moment when the final evaluation, so I make an answer for her program, but I can tell you for the programs that, you know, where it's like we do not co-deliver, let's take it that way. It's around 3 weeks from the last evaluation, from the moment when we receive all the informations. Because it's the energy advisor performs the final evaluation, the homeowner has to take all the receipts and submit them to the portal. Energy advisor must submit the file to the portal. So from the moment when we receive it, it's around 3 to 4 weeks, but my understanding is around 3 weeks.
Where can viewers find a very detailed map of the different zones? There's one listener who sells into 2 different zones, but not sure where the boundaries are.
So I can share this information with HREI with a disclaimer because, I mean, it might be some, you know, like it's not perfect, but I can share this with HREI with you and maybe later on you can share it with your members.
That's great. I think we're going to cap it. There's a few more, but and thank you everyone for the questions. It's been great. It's a lot of good information. Can you please differentiate between a retrofit and residential new construction?
So a home is considered, it's eligible under a homeowner residing in a house older than 6 months since when they received the occupancy permit, it's considered to be an existing home. Let's say that the house is less than 6 months old from the moment when the homeowner received the occupancy permit, it's considered still a new house. If it's older than 6 months, can participate into our initiative.
Okay. I think we're good. That was the longest question and answer session we've had so far in an HRAI webinar, but thank you so much for providing the answers.
Yeah,
I'm sure
capture, copy and pasted in an email, Dana, the questions if we want to send a summary of some of the answers later on. I know I tried to post some links on the chat. Let me know if it works. Sometimes it's just like text. It doesn't go through like an actual link. And then we will send those links to you.
Okay.
So if you stay one more minute, I can put that email.
The email address to, okay,
yes.
Great. Yep. Perfect. And then
Yes.
I'm sure people have follow-ups.
If there are any manufacturers on the call, I mean, I will put in here my email address in case they have more specific questions.
Certainly. So let's see here. Is that you, Michael?
No, 1 second. Wait. So this is my email address, and I'll grab the other.
So if you're watching, you can go into chat. There's the email address. I can also read it out if you want to get a pen. It's Dana, D-A-N-A, .Farcasiu, F-A-R-C-A-S-I-U, at NRCan -RNCAN.gc.ca. Dana Farcasiu at NRCan-RNCAN.gc.ca.
Yeah, and then and this is the other. Oh, how do I go back to the meeting chat? Oh, here. So this is the question for the technical inquiries. Sorry, the email for the technical inquiries.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. That was a great presentation. A lot of information. I'm sure a lot more questions, but I'm glad we got the email out there. And if you want to share anything after the presentation that we should put out to the viewers, let me know.
Before we close, I just want to have some closing notes, if that's okay with you.
Sure. We've got 5 minutes before people
That's
gotta go back
only
to their
doing 1
jobs.
minute. So
yeah. Okay.
what I'm trying to say and convey is the fact that we recognize that in the quest of having the heat pump technology adopted by Canadians, we are not alone. We need to work closely with the HVAC industry and work together to ensure that we will reach Canada. All of us in Canada will reach the targets set up by our government for the 2030. And later on for the 2050, when the aim is to become carbon neutral. So we need to work together, and we need to support each other. So anytime when you like to you have questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are here to work with you and for you. So definitely let's keep the dialogue open, and let's continue successfully working together as we work right now. So thank you very much, HRAI, for hosting this webinar. And thank you, May, for joining me here. And again, please, I just want to let you know that we could not have been so successful. And by the way, our program, it's very successful. Heat pumps, it's still the main incentivized product under the Canada Green Homes Initiative. I have to say, I think Quebec, it's number 1, British Columbia number 2, and then we have Ontario as number 3. So we could not have been so successful without all the hard work that you and your colleagues are doing, and working with the homeowners. So thank you again for having us.
And thank you, Dana. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you, Maya. That's fantastic information. We've got, we will be posting this video on the HRAI's YouTube page because there's a lot of stuff to unpack, so you can rewatch it. You've got the contact information, and I assume you'll be in touch again. The engagement will continue with the HVAC community as this program kind of evolves. Yep, we'll see you again.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
okay.
Definitely.
We cannot be successful alone. We need to work together.
Exactly, definitely. So
right.
Please don't forget that at the beginning of June, the new eligible products will be posted. So go and check the website and yeah.
Okay.
See you soon.
Talk to you later, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.